Why, hello there, Nice Toe here. I do hope this video finds you well today. Better than me, at least. I'm still a bit under the weather, and a few things going on. But I decided to try and get in this unboxing that I've had in the back pocket for a little while. I've actually held off on unboxing this just for this. And, of course, because everything is screwed up at the moment, I tried unboxing it, and the video sort of got messed up, and I lost the beginning. So, I started over. I have taken it out of its packaging, and I've opened the box, but I have yet to really get into the knife. As you can see, this is a Kunwu, and this is a relatively recent Kunwu, still in its packaging. This is the Kunwu Jericho, I believe, with Damascus inlay and in titanium in the honeydew texture. And this particular one is DLC coated blade. It's sort of like a reverse tux finish on this one. Out of the box, it does appear to be centered. It looks quite nice. Good looking Damascus right here. I have to say, I was really hesitant on getting this because I do not like knives that only have stuff on the show side. That's why really I've had a couple hinders, but only the automatic, the fully tie one, has stuck around. Because I don't like knives where the design element or something about it is purely on the show side and the lock side is just completely different. It's not for me. This one does have this Damascus inlay on the show side only, which I don't love, but it does have Damascus pivot collar surrounds, and I know that Kunwu occasionally does like Damascus pocket clips. I'm going to look to see if maybe down the road I can find a Damascus pocket clip for this thing, or maybe I can have one made or something like that. And I figure the Damascus pocket clip paired with the inlay, that'll be a nice balance, right? That'll keep the design element flowing through it. And honestly, the inlay on this one with the Damascus on the pivot collars, it's not like the most mismatched thing. So I was also quite interested in the design of this knife. So, ooh, that was a good first flick, and good first flick indeed. Looks like there's a bit of oil on the blade. That'll come off. Yeah, I definitely like the style here. Titanium frame lock on bearings. Ooh, that is interesting action. That is very, very... The lock bar feels like it's got a lot of pressure to it. Huh. It's tight, but it's super smooth. It's almost like hydraulic-y. This is bearings. Yeah, that's definitely bearings. This almost feels like a kind of a broken-in pair of washers. It's super... You see how little it actually travels when I disengage it? If it didn't, it could definitely come down and get me if I don't go high enough. That's something maybe if you are interested in this knife, you have to be careful of. This one could definitely bite you. But it comes down from the open position so slowly. And then it's super, like, velvety, luxuriously smooth. Like, not quite glassy smooth, but tight and very consistent feeling. That feels really good. Kunwu's DLC satin, a DLC I think they do call it, is attractive as ever. In fact, did they improve this maybe a little bit? Ooh, yeah, this one's got just the tiniest hint. Like, it's not a mirror, it's not even like the semi-mirror on the Vanguard, but it's just a little bit reflective. And it's got a lot of sheen to it. They might have improved this even, or something. I only have one other example of it, and it doesn't quite look like this, though that one looks unique and good in its own way, so I'm not complaining either way. I do like this, and I like the reverse sort of counterbalance. I thought if this was black, fully black, the Damascus, not the DLC, the Damascus would get lost in it a little bit. I think this sort of pops it out with some contrast. And the DLC hardware is nice touch. In fact, it's got like the same polish as or satin as the blade has on it. That's quite nice. The regular screws don't, and the clip doesn't, but the pivot does, which is kind of cool. Contoured titanium Rather tall pocket clip, I am a little bit concerned about that, but no, in Saber Grip, that's actually quite comfortable. That's a lot more comfortable than I thought. I thought this was going to feel a lot more pokey and angular, and because it's so tall. Yeah, that's quite comfortable. You can't. It is a little bit off-putting in like the hammer grip because it sits so tall. It's kind of pushing into my hand a little bit. But I would normally hammer grip up here, and right there, I've got a hot spot on the corner of it. But if I put it in, but if I find the right positions, it seems, yeah, you find the right position, hammer grip's no problem. It's comfortable. If you don't get quite the right position on the hammer grip, you can feel the clip a little bit more. And I mean, I wouldn't hammer grip from back here in the first place, but that I feel the clip in my hand a little bit. But the standard Saber grip seems really comfortable, a lot more comfortable than I thought. The lock bar has been nicely softened. It's a little sharp, but you don't really come in contact with it. So they've put the harder edge back in here. It's much softer up here, so they've definitely taken efforts to chamfer and smooth that down and soften it, and I really appreciate that. I know that some companies don't do that. That's one of the things I wish we would do on more of their models. Not saying I don't like Wii's. I have a lot of Wii's, but yeah. Lock bar insert. There's not a whole lot of lock bar access, I will admit. Kind of have to come out at slight diagonal, but it certainly works. It's not hard to get at by any means. Still perfectly centered. Is there any play? No, rock solid. Rock solid. Also something I like to see. Oh, the detent pulls on the blade pretty quick. Centered titanium pocket clip. How's the flex on the clip? It's a little tight, but it's got good flex. It shouldn't be too bad. It might be a little tight in and out of the pocket, but I think that's more like tight pinch and not tight in room. I think it'll be fine. Very nice Damascus on the pivot collar. Stop pin up and away from the edge, no problem there. The opening hole aperture is the only way to really actuate this thing, which is fine. It works good. How's it work for the thumb flick? Very good. Nice blade shape, harpoon, Vanex steel, and considering Kunwu is such a stickler when it comes to getting a good heat treat on things, I'm not at all concerned about the heat treat on this. It'll probably be one of the better ones out there for Vanex, even though I don't think Vanex is the hardest knife steel to treat. It is somewhat more expensive. Unless you're Kunwu, in which case I don't know how they do some of the things they do, but they do it. Lots of reduction on the side. It's a little thicker and chunkier in the hand than I was expecting. It doesn't really look like it would be, but I think it helps it. It helps alleviate some of the pressure from that clip. I have noticed, it looks like there's one little hiccup in the DLC right there. That is not something on the blade. That is yeah, that's a hiccup in the DLC itself. I've never actually seen something like that on a DLC. Well, I have seen some funky, cheaper DLCs that are just kind of ugly and inconsistent, but honestly, I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, I would prefer not to see that, but it's not like, oh my god, it's so hideous. It's fine. That is not enough for me to be like, oh, if it was a big cut and gash into the thing or something like that, and it was a major issue with the DLC, yeah, okay, that's a different story. But that little speck of area that didn't get treated right could be anything down to a speck of dust right on the blade. Reasonably thin behind the edge. Bit glassy, but oh yeah, no, it's sharp, definitely sharp. The Jericho. I did say that's what this is called, right? Yeah. Jericho. This is quite nice. It's a little smaller feeling than I was expecting. Like, I feel like I'm pushing up in there a little bit more than I thought I was going to. I can certainly move back a little bit, but I feel pretty far. It's fine. Just get used to it, right? How's the tip axis? Good, very good. How's the tip axis up here? Well, now that's interesting. Okay, so that's something just to be aware of, I guess. I don't know if this is how important this is, but tip axis, despite the belly on this blade, is pretty good. It's got not quite a trailing point, but it's got the clip pointish harpoon blade. The tip is high, but it's pretty easy to access in your basic grip. However, when you go up into the harpoon, yeah, you have to angle your hand up more. It's harder to get to the tip way up here. So you're going to have to go up a little bit higher. I don't know, that's an interesting anecdote. I just noticed that as I was looking and feeling it. Other than that, I really like this. This is really nice. Snappy. Smooth. This is probably going to break in quite well. Not like a heavy click on the detent, but it definitely feels like it's got a decent enough detent for it to be comfortable. And like I said, the lock bar feels like it's got a good amount of tension on it, so that might be helping too. The placement of the pocket clip is pretty close to this ledge here. I'll see if that causes any issues in and out of the pocket, but I'm not going to say whether it does because I have no idea just yet. That is always a reason why an internal lock bar or further back lock bar or like I like when companies do like a segmented lock bar where they make a couple cuts that are much thinner so you don't have the ability to get material stuck down in there. They're close, but they're thinner, and there's a couple of them. It makes it a little bit harder to get things in there sometimes. Sometimes it works counter, but yeah. Everything has to be executed a certain way to really get the effect you want, I suppose. I like it. I'm going to end things here. Say thank you for watching. Consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I swear I'm going to get back to a more normal schedule. I just have to get myself feeling better, and my mother has hopefully not some surgery, but something going on, so I won't go into details, but that's going to take a little while, I think. So for now, I'm going to be keeping the fuller, regular uploads to maybe a little bit less of a minimum. I mean, I was normally doing one a day, but I'm certainly not right now. I'm still going to do that, but I will still be posting shorts and everything pretty much each day. And I only ask that you bear with me a little bit on this. And who knows? I don't know. Like, subscribe, you know the deal. Just show some support. I'd appreciate it. Nah, do whatever you want, honestly. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Either way. Be well. Hopefully you don't end up sick, and nobody ends up sick. Don't come too close, right? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm making horrible jokes. Do I have a fever again? I don't think so. Oh well. Screw it. I'm going to end things here. Thanks for watching. See you later. I apologize for being out of it, but, well, I'm always out of it. See ya.